Tai did so well because Tai is I think came off a 2 or 3 fight losing streak, and he just wasn't doing. He just he'd even started doing wrestling camps and going to different gyms and improving his wrestling and things like that to increase his game, but he was coming into this different. I thought he looked a lot leaner than he usually is. Usually he's a bit heavier in that. He looked a lot more toned and heavier. Maybe his cardio was a bit better.
Yeah, he's a thick boy.
He is a thick boy, and he did very well. It was the last second of the round or something like that.
I think it was a buzzer beater race.
Yeah, it was
the second round.
4:59 round 1.
He did really he came in like guns blazing, and we were saying earlier before the fight that Stefan Struve sort of did have a massive reach advantage over him. But the way that Tai Tuivasa fought was that he was pushing him a lot against the cage and he was throwing a lot of big, heavy hands. And then when he hit him with that uppercut, even though it didn't properly connect, it still kind of knocked him down.
It looked strange because it didn't properly connect, and it wasn't on the chin. It was more on the forehead region. It didn't really connect that well, and Struve just kind of dropped from all the pressure, I think. Just the amount of pressure that Tai was putting on him. Tai did so well, did really, really well. And he was, he almost looked so relieved afterwards because he'd been waiting for a win for a long period of time. And then the Nelk boys show up. Nelk boys were in the UFC embedded as well. And
they did a shoe with him afterwards as well.
They did after his fight. He tried to...
He jumped the cage.
Jumped the cage, tried to do it, I didn't know you spit in the shoe before. I didn't know.
I didn't know that either.
I didn't know that either.
I've done shoeis before, but I've never
done shoeis.
I've never spit in a shoe.
Yeah, I've done shoeis before, but I've never. I think I've done one shoey. I've done one shoey, but I've never spat in the shoe before. That's nasty.
That's disgusting.
It's pretty gross, but
especially when COVID's going around and all that. The last thing you want to be doing is spitting in each other's.
It's also a shoe, it's a dirty shoe. Also from like one of the Nelk boys, so it's probably the nastiest shoe you've ever smelt ever. I'm surprised they got let in, but not other celebrities. Like, why did the Nelk boys? Like, it was 3 of them.
Well, apparently the Nelk boys had some sort of deal with the UFC.
They must do because they're increasing in popularity now, especially with young people through their YouTube channel. Yeah, and then usually the fighters have a deal with the UFC where they're watching the fights and they have to write something on Twitter because the Twitter message comes up on the screen and it will say, "So excited for UFC 254." Even I think it was Lewis Capaldi. He wrote one up on the screen as well, which I wasn't expecting since he's like a more famous musician. So they must have a deal with the Nelk boys or something like that because they had the same messages on the screen.